Hey guys, so this is Travis with me on Bipolar blog. You're probably watching this video for one reason, and you're at a point where there were things in the past on why you want to take your own life, why you're experiencing suicidal ideations, or maybe you're at the heat of the moment and you see this video and you're just about to commit suicide. Well, for me, I really struggle with this issue. And in this video, I say that you got to get up and distract yourself doing some small habit that you could develop before you want to commit suicide. There's one thing that I forgot to tell you guys, and that is the fact that I feel it starts with your mind. For the most part, when it comes to me wanting to take my own life, the second before that, I always have that hesitation. You want to know why I hesitate? It's this for the very reason, and the hesitation is because I think about the loved ones that would be devastated if I do take my own life. So the moment I woke up, the reason on why I was hesitant to want to commit suicide, and you might experience this too, is that you're going to feel guilty that friends or family, when you think about it, you may want to take your life at this heat of the moment or this second right now. But I just want you guys to know, before you take that step to do whatever you want to end your life, you got to think. You got to think about the lives that you may affect. And you may think that you won't affect anyone and that no one is listening, but there are people that will be listening. They may see it in the news or in the paper, or they may see the obituary and see your name. One thing that I think about when it comes to not wanting to end my life is my brother. He was crying when he lost Sloppy, which was our pet, and that was the number one thing on why I'm pretty hesitant to want to take my life. I may get to the point where I feel like at this moment I want to take my life, but right now, that is the one thing that I think about, is the emotion that I might place on my brother, especially because I feel like if I do take my life, he may want to take his life too, and that always prevents me from wanting to commit suicide. I'm an identical twin, and I guess I have this really close connection with him, and I know he will be very devastated if something happened. This is what you need to do before you even think about getting up and distracting yourself. You want to change the thoughts that you're experiencing right now, or at least consider the thoughts and what you're thinking. I feel like the fact that you may feel guilty or you may be hesitant. Hesitation is very important when it comes to wanting to take your life, because for me, if I feel like I want to take my life, I'm very hesitant, and the hesitation actually prevents me from doing anything bad. And I think about the family members or the loved ones that would be devastated if I were ever to take my life. Alright guys, so this is going to be the aftermath of Life is Meaningless, I Want to Die, Part 1. Were you able to capture one of the things that might have triggered suicide ideations this morning? I don't know if you noticed, but I was laying in my bed, and that actually was a sign that maybe I was decompensating, and could explain the reasons and why I was experiencing SI this morning. Anyways, I want you guys to know, because of this issue, it is actually a sign that I realized that I am experiencing SI this morning. It happened earlier at the night where I wrote a post saying that I was feeling okay, I don't want to commit suicide, but I'm definitely apathetic. I'm not doing my passions, I'm not developing any habits. I'm just going to try to get into the video on what I really want to talk about, and is actually on ways to cope with these short time experiences in which you want to hurt yourself. They maybe last a half hour to an hour. This is a way on how I handle and manage my SI that is in the heat of the moment. I'm having apathy, I don't want to do my passions, and my routine has changed. And when I say routine has changed, as in the previous video, you might notice that I was doing the video on my bed, and that is actually a sign that I'm not doing too well. At first it might seem like I'm just trying to enjoy life on my bed, but that's actually a sign that I'm not doing too well. This video sucks. I don't know what else to say. The fact that I couldn't even do the video is actually another sign that I wasn't doing too well. And this couple days or this week, I was having a huge issue trying to establish routine other than outside of the gym. Now, I feel like personally, when it comes to you, where you might have suicidal ideations, there's actually some hints that you are not doing too well, and you may be on the verge of the fact that you may or want to commit suicide. Having a good routine can definitely help you manage your mental health. And the fact that I was struggling this week, as I stated before, is definitely a sign that I'm not doing too well. I might say, as I realized this morning, I might say that I'm doing okay and I don't want to commit suicide, but the fact that I was having issues with the routine this week is actually a sign that things are progressively getting worse. And yes, before I stated that I was having SI for unapparent reasons, but this time I know for certain that my days have been really sluggish, and in spite the fact that I'm on a decent amount of Seroquel, which is the lowest dose, 25 milligrams, I'm still having suicidations in which I want to hang myself. And what is the number one thing that has gotten me out of these predicaments in which I feel like I want to take my life? Well, the number one thing that has helped the most was, if you're experiencing SI in the middle of the night where you feel like you want to hurt yourself, the thing that has helped me the most was just getting up. And I'm not saying you should get up and hang yourself, not saying you should get up and do bad addictions. I'm saying just get up, turn on the television. What helps me is I make a cup of coffee, and it might seem counterintuitive, but for me it kind of just relaxes me a bit. I don't know if it's the smooth taste or having creamer in it or the sweet taste, but I was able to get some sleep today, even though today I was kind of not functioning this morning and had really bad thoughts about hurting myself. And as I stated before, I just want you guys to realize the fact that in this earlier video, the number one sign that I was not doing too well was the fact that I was making a video in my bed, and typically that is something that I do not do when it comes to making Beyond Bipolar blogs. And I just want you guys to realize that if there's something that seems off kilter, whether it is increased SI in general, changes in routine in which you don't want to do anything like passion, self-care, or any type of work-related situations that you got yourself involved in, or just some apparent event that really triggered really bad things. I'm not saying that having these bad thoughts is actually a determination in which you have really bad SI, or having not bad thoughts is the reason why you shouldn't have SI. I'm just saying that these are some signs, that subtle traits that you got to be aware of, that you can actually prepare for these things if things get really bad. But the fact that I also want you guys to know, even if you can't prepare these things, and I kind of addressed this in my previous video when I was in Mexico, is that the way I address things when it comes to suicidations, or the fact that I want to harm myself or kill myself, is the fact that I get up, I turn on the television if I can, I walk around in circles for a bit, and the number one thing that has helped the most is just patiently doing something else besides doing some self-harm. And the one thing that has helped the most was just making a cup of coffee and getting up, getting on my computer. And I know my therapist stated that getting on your computer can actually induce like too much activity in the brain, but for me, having that activity actually distracts me from doing any type of self-harm. And if I feel like going online and purging my emotions on Facebook without clearly defining the fact that you want to commit suicide, because you can definitely trigger people in which they feel that you're in self-harm. And for me, I feel like, even though I admit that you guys should contact the suicide hotline, for me, I feel like that's not the best option, because typically I just want to feel better, and talking to someone, telling them my whole story again is something I don't look forward to. So there are some self-care tactics, soothing tactics that you could do if you're experiencing SI, whether it is in the morning, whether it's not in the morning. But if you're having these silent attacks, as I call them, where you do want to commit suicide, just getting up, being active, and doing something that as simple as making a cup of coffee, watching TV, pacing in circles, getting your watch on, putting on clothes, those things can definitely help you get over the attack, because I feel distraction is very important when it comes to managing mental health issues. Let me rephrase that. I was doing okay this week, and however, my routine was really getting messed up and I was having a hard time doing things. I wanted to airbrush, but the problem is I ran out of canvases, and I don't want to spend a chunk of change just to do airbrush canvases that may not even sell or may sell. I don't know, but I was trying to wait since they're out of stock to get some canvases, and I know doing art has definitely helped me purge some of these bad emotions. And if you guys are having these panic attacks, or what I call SI issues, or subtle traits of having SI, or whatever you want to call them, these shindigs that only take maybe half hour to an hour or so throughout your day, and you may not even realize that you're having these issues. But at that heat of the moment, please get up, distract yourself, doing healthy behaviors. Don't get up, hang yourself. Don't get up harming yourself, drinking or cutting, or doing any types of illicit behavior like binging on bad habits, gambling, online casinos, online on your computer, or spending crazily. Don't do that, but have these small habits that you could develop in the morning that could actually benefit you from wanting to take your life. Anyways, please like, comment, subscribe, and hit the bell button. Thanks. Take care.